punching down means you have to mix the seeds, the skins and the juice, because when you squeeze a berry, what comes out is just a transparent liquid, right? How do you get the color? The color you get from the skins. But how do you get the color out of the skins is with like a friction, like you have to extract it. And the way it was done before, or still some winemakers do today, is just this manual work of punching down, pumping over the juice and making the cap always wet. With this machine, we just put the grapes in, computer, go to sleep. Really helps. So it's temperature control as well. And that allows us to have a very fast extraction of color, tannins, aroma in a very short time. Like dolcetto, the one we'll taste if you want to taste dolcetto, is 48 hours on the skins and it's pressed. The Barolo we'll taste is 5 days on the skins. Some winemakers, they'll tell you, no, you have to ferment at least 4 weeks. But with these machines, with the techniques we have and what we believe is right, it's 5 days. One very important thing I wanted to tell you is that since Elio is very strict about natural, organic in the vineyards, we're as well very strict in the cellar. So as well the fermentation, how do you start the fermentation? Because you throw the grapes in there, it doesn't stop fermenting on its own. How do you start that? We don't use yeast to inoculate the fermentation, but we create our mother yeast. It's like when you make bread and you carry on always with the mother yeast with the dough. We create a mother yeast and we carry on for the whole harvest, and we always inoculate with that. So we don't buy the powder yeast that comes from Australia, and it's the same one they'll use in California as well. So Elio believes in creating his own mother yeast, and he has all these techniques and secrets that I won't tell you, and we just put it in there. And that 1 week before the big harvest, we harvest like 150 kilos, 3-4 buckets of grapes. We put them in an open bin. We literally crush it with the feet. Just give it a little crush, and then you put a cloth on top, a piece of plastic, whatever, and we leave it outside, not in the sun, but outside in the heat. And that naturally, in a week, starts fermenting, because it's a small quantity. When then you harvest a week after the real harvest starts, you suck that mother yeast and you throw it in there, and that's like a bomb. It gives the food to the yeast to start, and they just like, after 12 hours, the whole rotary fermenter goes bloop, bloop, bubbles. Then you have more grapes coming in to throw in that rotary. I get some juice, but literally 2 buckets of juice from here, throw it in there, it's like a chain. Once you start it basically doesn't stop. Unless you have a very concentrated warm year, and then it's very high, very little water, very little juice and lots of sugar, so the yeast may be a little bit more sensitive and die, but it happened like in 03. Sorry, yeah, 03, sorry. It's pretty much the way all the wineries work here, organic. And it's not because we think it's fancy, because you put it on the labels, or because it's cool, but because we drink our wines, first of all. We work in our vineyards, and it's the most common thing to do. It comes naturally. Yeah. Actually, when someone sprays chemicals here, we look at that guy like, it's backwards. It's not. It's very unusual, I want to say. And plus, having 10 hectares is not like hundreds of hectares to handle. 10 hectares, it's a good size to handle. Yeah.